já tady dvě věci. Nejdřív tu, na kterou bych zapomněl. Za prvé, tenhle difuzér není kompatibilní s tím, když máte tažné zařízení. Respektive, vy ho namontujete, ale už vám potom nebudete moc mít tažné zařízení. Takže pokud máte na Tesle kouli a často ji používáte, vozíte všechno možný, tak tohle to není pro vás. Druhá věc je ta, že naprosto na rovinu, já jsem vždycky, co se týče aut, i třeba jako věcí, jsem se chtěl asi trošičku jako odlišovat. Nevím, jestli to má něco společného s mým malým sebevědomím, že a tak dále. Ale líbilo se mi vždycky to, že když prostě na parkovišti stojí stejný auta, tak to moje vypadá trošičku jinak. A proto, když mi napsali z Jeslaku, hele brášku, už nám toho spoustu natočil, co uděláme teď? Jsem říkal, to zkusím jim napsat o něco drahýho. Tak jsem jim poslal zadní difuzér na Teslu a oni řekli jo. A dneska to přišlo. Dneska mi zase začaly fungovat ty pružinky. Je mi ale naprosto jasný, že tahle věc rozhodně není pro každého. Takže, co tu mám? Máme tady teda difuzér. Je hodně zajímavé, že na té krabici samotný je jako vyloženě napsáno, hele, asi jsme to rozbili. A řidič DPDčka to nějak jako nekomentoval. Hodili jsme příjemný small talk o autech. Říkal, že mají taky elektrický auto, ID baze, takže kdyby náhodou to viděl, takže ho zdravím. Já tady jako většinou intenzivně rozmýšlím, jak se do toho vlastně jako dostanu. Tak, tady je teda ta izolata o tom poškození, která jako říká, jo bráško, asi jsme to jako rozbili, ale buď v klidu, neřeš to s náma. Tak. Vždycky nejvíc děsí, jak vlastně ani z té krabice nepoznáte, jestli vám poslali to správný. Takže. Kublinky! Tyjo, tady ještě krabice. Tady ještě něco důležitého. Krabice. To jsou očividně jenom prázdné krabice, které to mají vyplňovat. Mělo by tam ale minimálně ještě být. A, tady to je. Já vám to hnedka ukážu, jen co to vyndám. Oboustranná páska a vruty. Přiznám si, že mě trošičku vadí u tady těch mých spoluprací, že oni mi k tomu v podstatě jako nikdy nepošlou nějaký jako třeba instalační jako návod, jo. Jasně u těch displejů do kokpitu to... Aha, it's a gift. Neposlám říšku dopředu. Dík, kámo. Ale já už tam jednu mám. A tahle vypadá možná trošku víc cool. Já se jdu podívat. Tahle vypadá líp, tu se tam pak dám. Takže tohle mi teda poslali jako gift, aha. Tohle, ono to je od nich hrozně milý. Ale upřímně řečeno by to mohlo někdy stát jako trošku dopředu, že jo? Protože potom, jako to je jak s těma stínítkama na strop, že jo? Já jsem tady měl jako v jednu chvíli v podstatě troje stínítka, protože mi je poslali úplně všichni. Ale ona už tam ta páska je. Z větší části. Za to jsem teda upřímně řečeno moc rád. To budu asi házet auta, ať to tady nelítá. Takže, ten difuzér, no to je asi jako všude ta páska. Ten difuzér, prosím pěkně, přátelé moji, má v sobě brzdové světlo. Podle videa na webu Jeslaku to tam musíte přimontovat. Tady už tam očividně přimontovaný je. Já se naprosto na rovinu přiznám, že to brzdové světlo nebudu zapojovat. A je možné, že ho nějakým decentním způsobem odstraním. Tak, tady už to je. Co vy na to? Já bych řekl, že to vypadá docela jako nesmírně krutě. Potom ze spoda se to má ještě přišroubovat těma vrutama. To se samozřejmě, když tam máte díru natažní jako já, tak si podívejte, kde ta díra je, abyste to jako nešroubovali jen tak do něčeho. Takže, každopádně, mělo by to být tady vlastně de facto teda vyřízlý. V podstatě by to mělo být takhle. Takhle? Já nevím, ty vole. Začínám myslet, jestli mi poslali jako na správně. Ještě se na to podívám pořádně. No, dobrý, poslali mi to samozřejmě na správný auto. Já jsem totiž vždycky na těch obrázcích koukal na Y. A Y má tady to šedý, takhle hezky nahoru. A tam to de facto kopíruje právě to šedý. Zatímco tenhle tam pasuje, řešíme ten střed, takhle, jo, takhle to tam potom je. To znamená, že já to teď půjdu celé strhat, přilepit, přišroubovat a čau. De facto tady ta hrana kopíruje tady tu hranu dole a mělo by to takhle krásně na to auto potom vlastně vyjít. No, takže jdem lepit. Tak. Mám to teda už odmaštěný, tohle jsou prostě očividně asi, není to škrábanec, je to špína. Je to špína, čeče. Je krásně vidět, jak ten, kdo lakoval můj zadní nárazník, tak nebyl úplně dobrý jako lakírník. Decentně řečeno. Dosti decentně řečeno. Tak, jak já to provedu? Přemýšlím, že si možná odlepím tyhle vnitřní a až potom udělám ty další. No, uvidíme. Tady hlavně, když něco takhle lepíte venku, tak se snažte být pokud možno co nejrychlejší. Ať vám ty samolepky nejsou dlouho jako na vzduchu, protože potom samozřejmě se vám na to nachytá prach nebo ty oboustranné pásky a nemusí to už potom tak dobře se chytat na to, co lepíte. Tady ta červená oboustranná páska z Číny je vždycky úplně ničí z toho vůbec jako reálně odlepit. Jsem bohužel ztratil takovou tu malou Wi-Fi kundost, co jsem měl ve videu s karbonem. Ten mimochodem k těm karbonovým věcem dovnitř, na ty prahy. Druhý den jsem vezl syna, přišel k autu a říká, tati, co to je? Říkám, no to mi přišlo, to jsem tam nalepil. A on, já to tady nechci. Takže aspoň vidíte, že máme se synem na to podobný názor, že to není úplně nějak extra pěkné. Tak, mám skoro všechny odlepený, teď ještě tuhle. Tak, teď to bude zajímavý. Potřebuju hlavně trefit ten střed, abych to měl fakt jako rovnoměrně. Ne, musím trošičku doleva. Ty vole, to je hodně hustý. To je hodně hustý tady. Hele, to už jako ani, to drží fakt pevně. Fakt pevně. Tak, no a je to. Tak to je hodně velký masakr. Teďkon už jenom potřebuju tam ze spodu dát pár těch hrutíků, který to v podstatě budou, řeknu, jako jistit. No a je to, přátelé. Je takhle easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Drží to teda přilepený jak čert, jako. Ještě to pro jistotu přimáčknu takhle. Samozřejmě ty jejich výlisky nikdy nejsou na 1000% přesný, takže by občas bylo větší jistota si to ještě nahřát a trošičku namodelovat, ale myslím si, že to vypadá fakt jako zajímavě. Co vy na to? Je prostě skoro imitace vejfuku, víš co na Tesla. Hele, hoďte mi do komentářů, co na to říkáte. Mějte se moc krásně a já se doševně tu předním říšku. Ale mi přijde fakticky o trošičku hezčí. No nic, tak se mějte a u dalšího videa. Čágo!
Now I fixed the biggest problem with the Tesla Model Y. Hey, welcome back, whether you're a long-time viewer or a new subscriber like Tripping with Jay. I see you. I appreciate every single one of you. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. Now, I fixed the biggest problem with the Tesla Model Y, and this may be subjective. Now, I love Teslas, obviously, I love them all, but I loved my Model 3's look better than I did on my Model Y. The number one reason why I didn't get the Model Y was because of the look. Now, I don't really like the shape of it. I don't really like, you know, how bulbous it looks, right? That's not really my style. But I was able to do some things to improve that. And the other thing is, where I live, there are so many Model Ys, so many of them, where it's like, it's ridiculous, right? So I want mine to stand out a little more. So those were the two biggest issues I had with the car. Now, to talk about some of those things, the first thing you'll notice is we got to start with the base, right? And I know looks aren't everything. Looks aren't everything. That's what my dad told me about my junior prom date, right? He said looks aren't everything. But to me, they're important when it comes to the vehicle, like when I walk up to it. So let's start with the base. You know how sometimes you go to, you know, a sushi bar or a poke bar or a Chipotle, they ask you what your base is, rice, salad. Well, my base right here is matte PPF. Matte PPF. And the beautiful thing about this, and everything you're gonna see pretty much, is the budget. It's budget friendly, right? So this matte PPF protects your car, right? It makes it look nice. It protects you from rock chips and things of that nature, right? It does a great job of doing that, but I wanted the matte color. And the nice thing about this was I did it myself. If there's a discount code attached, I will put that in the description. About $3,000 to do it myself. It is a lot of work, right? But I'm saving thousands. And like I said, it's not perfect. There's still some areas where I'm popping bubbles here and there, you know. I'm still touching it up, but I saved a lot of money and it was kind of fun to do. So that's the base, right? Just to give it a different look. And yes, there's a lot of matte Teslas out there, but that's just the start. That's just the start. The next thing I want to talk about, the next thing I looked at was, if you haven't noticed those roof racks up there, those roof racks. Now, Tesla's roof racks cost $500. I got these from Yeslack. Yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced. Yeslack. They are $269. They look very similar. They aren't as polished on the edges. Like when you look right here, you can see this rubber. It looks, compared to the Tesla one, it looks a little different. I like the Tesla's one a little bit more, but that's only if you're looking really closely. But looking from a distance right here and walking up to it, I think it looks cool, right? My wife says I look like I got a Subaru or a rally car now, right? So, but that's cool. I really like the way it looks. It gives it more, like my friend did say that, you know what? It's already a high car. You don't want to make it higher. But for me, it just gives it a little more definition. It makes it look a little more dynamic, right? It makes it look a little more aggressive. And that was my theme here. I went with a little more aggression in different areas. But the installation was pretty easy. The hardest part was finding the they have little arrows here on the glass to tell you where it lines up. And you can, of course, measure. And it comes with all the tools, of course, but I just used the markers that Tesla have on there. I lined them up. Installation was pretty easy. That was the hardest part. And I did it all by myself, right? Did it all by myself, no issues at all. They're nice and sturdy. Now, honestly, my buddy was like, so where you going? Where you taking it? Man, these are 100% aesthetic. No, but you know, if I do eventually want to put some up here, I guess I can. But there is a slight whistle. When I get up to about 40 to 60 miles per hour, you can hear a whistle from in the cabin. With the music up, you can't really hear it. And just to be honest, it does bother me sometimes when I notice it. I'm like, oh man. But you know what? I did hear that I can replace these little parts right here, this rubber, and I found that on forums. And even some Tesla OEM ones whistle. I guess it depends on, you know, different factors, but I can replace these to stop that whistle. I might try that later, but I like the way those look. Speaking of Yeslack, they also had this really dope V-style carbon fiber spoiler right here. Now, this is a big boy. This one is pretty substantial. I like the look of it. I had the performance one, and just to be honest, I really love switching up things on my car. The only thing on my Model 3 that I never changed once I had it, the yoke. The yoke stays on, right? The yoke is a constant. I love the yoke, and I won't change that up. But different kind of spoilers, you know. This one, it sticks out. It's pretty wide bodied right here. But look at that real carbon fiber. And at first I was like, is it too big? Is it too big? But I mean, it really fits, right? It fits because if you look at the bottom right here, it kind of sticks out through a little tail, and the spoiler's nice and substantial, and it matches with the roof racks, and also it matches with these little eyelids I put on there. And that actually, this was my wife's idea. She wanted these on there, and I'll talk about those in a little bit. But this spoiler is super easy, and what helped it out was how big it is. You see, it's easy to match up the sides, Make sure it's all even before you put it on. And it's pretty dope. I really like how it looks. Here it is on the back. And it just gives it that aggressive stance. Aggressive stance. Now that spoiler, even though it's big, heavy duty, it's super light, it's carbon fiber, and it only costs $289, right? Again, discount codes in the description for everything that I have one for. It's big, but it's not too ridiculous, right? It does fit the look of this car. I think it gives it a nice aggressive look. But talking about the downforce, do I feel the downforce? I don't know. I don't really think so, but you know, I'm gonna keep it 100% with y'all, right? So looking down here, the next thing we have are these fog light trims from Jipu. I just got these on Amazon, and I have purchased some other things from Jipu, but these are on $35, and I went with these because the bottom is a lot longer. I like that longer look here at the bottom. And I don't really like them. My wife wanted them, but honestly, it matches because it gives that 3D effect, right? It pops. It pops out just like these pop out, just like the spoiler pops out, right? And the next thing that pop out and functional are these mud flaps. These mud flaps are cool. They come from Halo Black, and it's $45 for two of them, right? One right here and one right here. Now Tesla's only cost 40, but they only come with the front ones. And that kind of makes sense, right? Because what you really want to do is protect any rocks or anything for popping up right here and hitting this. So you really want to protect that. This right here is protecting down here, but it's already rubber down there, so I'm not really worried about that. But it looks more balanced, right? It looks more balanced having it right here and right here, right? Having both of them down there, it just looks good. And the thing about these, you'll see some mud flaps that come up here on the side, and I've heard of, this is plastic, right? This is plastic, but on the Model 3 and some of the older models, this is like paint. And if it comes over the side, it can scratch it. So these don't come over the side, and the installation is super easy. You just pop off the old little buttons in there, put in the new ones. And what I like about this is, look at that. So I've also heard of and seen mud flaps that actually crack and break, right? These are very flexible, very strong. And look, they're already doing their work, right? They're already working, you can tell. Check that out, right? Look how flexible they are. And the shape of them. So the shape, check that out. I mean, there's so many mud flaps out there. So many that you could look at and buy. And it's like, how do you pick, right? You can go off of what you like, the style you like, but you really want something that's gonna last, that won't crack, something weather resistant, and something that looks cool, right? Something that looks cool. And since we down here looking at the mud flaps, I want y'all to take a look at the rim case, right? The rim case by Magback. And you said, well, I thought this was about aesthetics, right? This protects the rim. And you can't even see it on there, right? You can't even see it on there. If you look closely, you can see a little bit, right? But from a distance, even not even that far away, you can't even notice it. So they're like cases for your rims. You know how you put phone cases on? This protects it from curb rash. If you just, the way Tesla rims are designed, the wheels, they pop out a little bit from the tire. So if you just brush up against the curb, it's scratched, right? And instead of replacing them, all you have to do is pop off these rim case and put on some new ones. That's it, right? That's it. So I don't know. I just did a test on them, a demo on them. I have hit the curb before in my Model 3 and my Model X, and it was just carelessness. It's me, right? But if I had these on there, it's easy to replace. You just pop it out and put it back on. And I actually, before I had my Model Y, I did offer these to my friends that had them, and I said, hey, do you want to test these out? I just got to make a video. And they were like, no. I guess from the pictures, it looked like you could notice them and they stood out, but they don't, right? So I had them on and I showed my homie and I said, look, I got that rim protector on there I showed you. He was like, where? He was like, where? I said, look, they're on there. He's like, oh, you can't even tell. I said, I know. That's what I was trying to tell you, but you know, You don't really know unless you get it and you try it. But I really think that's a good buy right there. And last but not least, to make my car stand out a little more, see this silver dual motor, that chrome? With the car being dull, that's why I went with the carbon fiber shiny to give it some pop. And I want to keep that shiny. I didn't black it out like I did on the other cars. But here, I went with the Tesla letters, right? I went with the letters. I removed the T. I went with the lettering, and I've seen that. But I went with the chrome to match the dual motor and to pop a little bit. I went with the chrome. And I think it looks cool, man. It just gives it a different look, a different dimension. It's not a Subaru, but it just pops with that silver right there. And these were $17 on Amazon. But overall, it completes the look. It completes the package. They're from Cool Co. And again, links to everything in the description. So I don't know. I do care about the exterior of my car because I walk up to it. I like to look back at it. You know what I mean? And I'm really proud of the way this one came out. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it's an extension of me, right? It's an extension of me. I got my little rally car, and who knows, it might not stay like this for very long. I did black out my headlights on my Model 3. I think I'm gonna keep it white to match the white seats a little bit, a little pop, right? I don't want everything too dark, and I'm keeping my chrome up there. And also, I did get a tint, a 50 on the windshield, and I can't remember. I think a 20 on the front. You know, the back windows are not tinted, they're stained, but I want that dark look. And if you go with a tint, spend the extra money, get some kind of ceramic or something that has IR protection and also UV protection, right? You want to reject that heat. So I went with a 50, which is a little darker than I wanted, but I had a 60 on there and I had a 70 on my other cars. But with the white interior, I needed it darker. But hey, tell me your thoughts on this. Tell me how you feel. Tell me if you're feeling the look. Let me know. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, Cobra told ya. All right, y'all.
Ciao amiche e amici del canale, bentornati su Pillole di Tesla. Come avrete intuito dalla preview, oggi parleremo dello spoiler anteriore aereo di Yeslak in ABS, valuteremo il prodotto insieme, vedremo l'installazione e faremo una recensione. Lo spoiler in aereo ABS di Yeslak è uno spoiler elegante, sportivo, che va a proteggere il nostro parurete anteriore, ma gli dà anche un aspetto notevolmente aggressivo e sportivo. È composto di 3 sezioni facilmente unibili fra di loro loro attraverso delle viti, come vedremo, ed è facilmente installabile al labbro anteriore della nostra auto. Risulta essere un valido compromesso per chi desidera appunto avere uno spoiler anteriore ma non vuole spendere i 1000 euro di uno spoiler in originale fibra di carbonio. Infatti lo spoiler che vi presento costa $190, ma con il mio codice sconto pillole 20 sarete certi di avere il miglior sconto possibile nel periodo in cui lo acquisterete, a seconda che sia 20, 30, 35%, cioè il miglior sconto che ESLAC vi darà in quel periodo. Digitando pillole 20 sarete sicuri di ottenerlo. Quindi utilizzate il mio codice sconto, ma per tutte le ulteriori curiosità vi rimando dopo la sigla, in cui analizzeremo il packaging e vedremo come è fatto, ma il tutto dopo la sigla. Ecco il nostro spoiler, speditoci tramite FedEx in questo pacco molto protettivo. Andiamo ora a fare il packaging, perché dotiamoci del nostro taglierino, andiamo a tagliare protezioni in modo da poter vedere cosa c'è dentro. Come potete vedere, cartone protetto da queste ulteriori protezioni sempre di cartone rigido per evitare danni alla spedizione. Inoltre cartone molto resistente. Andiamo a vedere all'interno cosa troviamo. Poggiamolo per terra. Anche in questo caso ogni prodotto ben protetto e confezionato è composto, come vedete, da 3 parti: la parte centrale e le 2 laterali, più il nostro biadesivo, più un altro inserto composto da viti e il nostro adesivo 3M, più le salviette per pulire per bene il nostro paraurti. Andiamo a vedere però da vicino le varie parti. Andiamo a vedere appunto come ben confezionato anche in questo caso, con una plastica esterna e una plastica interna per evitare danni da trasporto. Molta cura nella confezione per evitare appunto i danni. Qui abbiamo il nostro spoiler anteriore, vediamo l'ABS, ma una magnifica texture in fibra di carbonio che andremo ad applicare sulla nostra auto, e andremo a vedere anche molto leggero. Certo non è leggero come la fibra di carbonio, però è leggero. Inserti per le viti da attaccare appunto sulla nostra auto, e inserti per le viti laterali per montare il tutto. Texture in fibra di carbonio, disegnata molto fedelmente. Andiamo a vedere anche le altre parti. Ecco, questo è il nostro spoiler. Andiamo a vederne anche le altre 2 parti. Labbro laterale e altro labbro laterale. Voglio farvi notare proprio la fibra di carbonio, il fatto che l'ABS dietro, fibra di carbonio, texture opaca, possiamo averlo in nero, nero opaco, nero lucido, texture fibra di carbonio opaca e lucida. Il prezzo varierà leggermente a seconda della texture che sceglieremo. Oltre a questa, in questa bustina, come potete vedere, troviamo il nostro scotch bilaterale 3M per farlo aderire per bene, e il nostro promoter adesivo e una serie di viti e vitarelle per collegare il tutto sotto scocca e fra di loro. Andiamo ora a montare le 2 parti laterali che, come vedrete anteriormente, andranno montate così. Quindi dovremo girare il nostro spoiler in questo modo, facendo combaciare questi 2 pernetti all'interno di questo punto, così. Prenderemo a loro volta le vitarelle che abbiamo in dotazione, queste 2 viti qua, e andremo a posizionarle al loro interno, andandole ad avvitare. Ecco quindi il nostro spoiler che andremo a preparare con l'adesivo praticamente per andarlo a installare sulla nostra auto. Un bel giavellotto direi, guardate com'è enorme. Ho quindi messo il biadesivo 3M in questo modo per migliorarne l'aderenza dopo averlo anche avvitato, e dopo andremo a vedere proprio l'installazione sull'auto e come sta. Quindi tutti i punti dove avremo il contatto dello spoiler con il paraurti, con le viti, avremo anche alta adesività garantitaci dal biadesivo 3M. Ecco, io ho fatto in questa maniera qua. Andiamo ora ad applicare il nostro labbro per il paraurti anteriore. La prima cosa da fare è pulire ben bene tutta questa zona qua. Quindi prendiamo il nostro alcol denaturato e andiamo a pulirlo per bene. Allineiamo quindi il parafanghi all'auto in modo da farlo combaciare per bene in questa situazione qua, così, se vedete, da tutti e due i lati. Quindi per tutta la parte anteriore utilizziamo anche degli appoggi per aiutarci, e tutta la parte posteriore. Poi utilizzeremo uno scotch carta per aiutarci a fissarlo. Andiamo quindi, arrivati a questo punto, ad attaccarci con le viti. Andremo ad avvitare quindi praticamente tutto il nostro spoiler anteriore attraverso i buchi perforati dello spoiler alla plastica inferiore della nostra auto, per tutta la lunghezza, come potete vedere. Quindi due viti per ogni protuberanza praticamente che avremo qua, che ogni protuberanza che avremo qua che sarà attaccata sia dal nostro adesivo che dalle viti, che le viti laterali che andranno a tenere insieme lo spoiler, dando questo aspetto qua, per un aspetto dello spoiler di questo tipo, quindi un aspetto anche molto bello ed elegante. Ed eccoci giunti alla conclusione. Spoiler aereo Yeslak di alta qualità in ABS, qualità sportiva ed elegante che va a proteggere il nostro paraurti anteriore, è composto da 3 sezioni facilmente montabili fra di loro e comunque facilmente montabile sul nostro paraurti anteriore mediante il nastro biadesivo e delle semplici viti da avvitare, appunto la parte in plastica del paraurti. È vendibile in 4 colorazioni diverse, che sono nero lucido, nero opaco o texture in fibra di carbonio opaca e lucida. Consigliato per chi vuole avere lo spoiler anteriore ma non vuole spendere gli 800-900 euro, prezzo con cui si acquista oggi lo spoiler anteriore in fibra di carbonio, e vi garantisco che la qualità dell'ABS è comunque alta. Parliamo ora di prezzi. Lo spoiler anteriore ABS di Yeslak texture fibra di carbonio opaca viene venduta sul sito Yeslak a prezzo di $190, ma con lo sconto pillole 20 potete portarlo a casa per $152. Inoltre pillole 20 vi garantisce il miglior sconto applicabile a tutti i prodotti del catalogo Yeslak nel periodo in cui lo andate a comprare. Quindi digitando come codice sconto pillole 20 siete sicuri di acquistare il prodotto col miglior sconto possibile. Bene, spero che anche oggi il video vi sia piaciuto. Se è così, mi raccomando, iscrivetevi al mio canale per essere sempre aggiornati sull'uscita di nuovi contenuti, attivate la campanella, mettete un like al video, commentate e ditemi i vostri pareri. Per il resto, ciao da Luca!
What up, Mixed Nice? It's your boy Nathan Mixon here with a brand new YouTube video for your Tesla Model 3 or your Model Y. So today I'm going to give my Model Y a sleek, race-inspired upgrade that not only looks amazing, but also enhances the aerodynamics of my vehicle. This bird will start chirping, whatever it's doing, right when I start my video. Today we're going to be checking out the premium carbon fiber side mirror caps from Yeslack. Now these caps are designed to mimic the futuristic look of the new Juniper Tesla Model Y 2025. Now I can't afford to get that one, so I'm doing the next best thing, and I'm gonna put some caps on there that give that same exact look for less of the price. Let's be real, you wanna maintain that high performance and also that upgraded look too at the same time. Tesla stock mirrors, they're fine, but they don't exactly scream performance. If you looked at the Model Y and thought, man, this car could look so much better with an aggressive, maybe a little bit of extra flair, you're not wrong. That bird is just sitting right there. Anyway, if you're going to spend money on an upgrade, you want to get something that's going to not fade or fall off in the future. That's where these 2x2 12-weave molded carbon fiber mirror caps come in. These are not wraps or cheap plastic overlays. It's full carbon fiber molded for an OEM-like fit, designed to match the aerodynamic curves of the Model Y Juniper while reducing wind resistance. No need for crazy modifications, just peel and stick and you're done. Well, you had to clean too prior to it. And by the way, the links will be in the description. You're gonna have two premium finishes. The first one's gonna be the glossy look and the other one's gonna be matte look. Today we are going to go with the matte look because my car is like a matte finish and I like that stealthy appearance. All right, Mixed Nice, so now it is morphing time on your new side mirror. So the first thing you have to do is literally clean the surface area. Once you dry the surface area, take that little pad there and clean off any spot on the mirror that's going to be sticking the glue to, or the sticker itself, the red tape. And then peel the sticker back, but not all the way, halfway, and place it onto the mirror itself. Make sure it fits securely, and if you want, you can take the rest of the tape off or just cut it where it is, and you are good to go. Do the same thing to the other side. Mixed Nice, if you're ready for a premium upgrade, this is one easy way to start. Like I said before, links are going to be in the description. Thanks to Yeslack for sending out this cool product. And if you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, share the video, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Bene amici, allora che ve ne pare? Vi piace questo nuovo colore? A me più lo guardo e più mi piace. Detto questo, quando l'ho ritirata dal wrappatore, visto che c'erano stati dei problemi tecnici di tempi e avevo bisogno di prendere la macchina prima del previsto, me l'aveva consegnata senza lo spoiler. Avevo spoilerato la foto a Yeslack, azienda con cui collaboro, la quale si è offerta immediatamente di inviarmi il loro spoiler in carbonio. Chi di voi mi segue da tanto tempo sa che io lo spoiler in carbonio già lo avevo di un'altra azienda, ma ho voluto chiaramente approfittare dell'occasione in quanto volevo appunto avere un metodo di paragone con quello offerto da Yeslack ed eventualmente potervelo offrire anche a voi in visione per darvi anche il mio parere in merito, anche perché alla fine con gli sconti tramite il mio codice Giulia Autopilot si riesce a strappare anche un prezzo migliore rispetto a quello dell'azienda concorrente. Ora seguitemi in questo video e vediamo come installare uno spoiler in carbonio vero su Model Y e soprattutto vediamo anche cosa ne penso di questo nuovo offertomi da Yeslack. Benone, per velocizzare un attimo il video ho già tolto i rinforzi che vengono applicati agli scatoloni quando arrivano appunto tramite il corriere. Questo perché in modo che lo scatolone non si fletta e chiaramente il contenuto non si vada a danneggiare. Vi ricordate quando ho montato tra l'altro il carbonio sul cruscotto era successo proprio questo, nonostante tra l'altro avevano messo i rinforzi. Vabbè, detto questo, vado a sballare in anteprima insieme a voi lo spoiler che appunto ancora non ho assolutamente visto nemmeno io. Quindi andiamo ad aprirlo, anzi non ho ancora finito di aprire lo scatolone, questa è proprio la dimostrazione che anch'io non l'ho visto, avevo un po' aperto qualche parte ma mi ero dimenticato di questi due punti, voilà. E a questo punto vediamo un po' come è stato imballato lo spoiler. Come vedete è assolutamente protetto da pellicoline e polistirolo per andare a far sì che non si rovini, ed ecco qua lo spoiler in questione. Allora, quello che vi posso dare di primo acchitto è che è diverso come forma rispetto a quello che possedevo in precedenza. Allora, ha una forma innanzitutto un pochino più allungata rispetto a quello che avevo, e soprattutto qua sotto ha un biadesivo totalmente diverso rispetto a quello che avevo in precedenza, e anche la scalanatura interna è fatta diversamente. Ora questo da una parte mi incuriosisce, perché effettivamente con un biadesivo singolo solo non so se effettivamente possa essere sufficiente a tenerlo saldamente in posizione, soprattutto se uno dovesse utilizzare le spazzole dell'autolavaggio. Comunque adesso lo andiamo ad appoggiare, poi prenderemo le misure per cercare di centrarlo al meglio e vediamo un pochettino come sta montato sulla vettura. Allora, vi mostro effettivamente lo spoiler appoggiato, tra l'altro in confronto con quello che avevo in precedenza. Come vedete, questo qui è quello di Yeslak, che è leggermente più corto rispetto a quello che avevo, che effettivamente arrivava più o meno qui fino a metà faro. Questo si ferma più o meno alla riga questa qua, esattamente, anzi addirittura così. Questa è più o meno la differenza di lunghezza, e come vedete è anche leggermente più sporgente rispetto a quello che avevo. Diciamo che questa è la sporgenza molto più simile a quella dello spoiler originale. Il mio che avevo in precedenza dell'altra azienda era più corto. Per quanto riguarda la colorazione sono leggermente diversi, ma devo dire che il carbonio di quello Yeslak è assolutamente ben fatto. Questi erano i piccoli danni che avevo su quello vecchio, ed era il motivo per cui lo volevo sostituire, visto che insomma abbiamo la macchina tutta sistemata a nuovo. Quindi diciamo che l'unica cosa che mi dispiace leggermente è che sia leggermente più corto rispetto all'originale, che effettivamente questo rappresentava meglio. Per cui mi rimane, avendo dovuto wrappare, lasciando questa piccola riga, perché appunto ci sono due pellicole sovrapposte, perché chiaramente l'inclinazione del baule non permette di fare un'unica pellicola sia sopra che sotto. Con lo spoiler l'avrei nascosta sicuramente meglio. Bene, facendo un po' di prove sono arrivato a dedurre che per ogni lato dobbiamo misurare 17 cm e mezzo dal bordo fino alla punta dello spoiler. Infatti se andiamo anche da quest'altra parte abbiamo i medesimi 17 cm e mezzo, ok? Quindi adesso che abbiamo misurato correttamente, abbiamo centrato esattamente lo spoiler nel mezzo, andremo a fare due segni con il nastro carta, uno qua e uno dalla parte opposta, in modo tale da poter poi togliere chiaramente il biadesivo, la protezione, e andare a puntare correttamente lo spoiler. Bene, come vi dicevo, eccoci qua, nastro carta, quello classico da carrozzieri. Andiamo a prendere un pezzettino così, lo andiamo a mettere qua che ci serve di riferimento. Stessa cosa facciamo da quest'altra parte, ma a parte che poi ne basta da una parte sola, perché tanto poi incominceremo solo da un lato. Adesso andiamo a posizionare lo spoiler andando a staccare da una parte sola il biadesivo. Ok, in questo caso è perfettamente allineato, e a questo punto andiamo a sfilare pian pianino a questo punto lo spoiler è montato, sembra abbastanza stabile. Chiaramente adesso le prime ore sono quelle fondamentali. Ok, beh, direi che anche se è un pizzico più corto, esteticamente non mi dispiace affatto. Forse perché è anche un pochino più lunghino rispetto a quello che avevo io, che era un po' più goffo da questo punto di vista. Ora ve lo mostro per bene. Eccolo, ecco il nuovo spoiler applicato. Come vedete, le parti esterne non hanno grossi giochi. Qui chiaramente ci rimane un po' d'aria rispetto all'essere perfettamente allineato, però devo dire che tutto sommato, anche rispetto a quello di prima, non è poi così male, anzi forse è anche un pochino più lunghetto e quindi mi piace anche un pochino di più, assolutamente. Bene amici, per voi sono passati pochi secondi, per me in realtà è passato ben un mese, perché ho aspettato tanto a pubblicare questo video e soprattutto a fare questo finale che state vedendo, semplicemente perché prima di darvi il mio giudizio volevo testare il prodotto personalmente in modo tale da togliere qualunque dubbio relativamente alla tenuta del biadesivo dello stesso. Dopo un mese, varie piogge, lavaggi vari e quant'altro, vi posso dire che mi sto trovando veramente bene. Il design dello stesso, più lo guardo, più mi piace, molto più di quello che avevo in precedenza dell'altra azienda, per cui consigliatissimo. Rimangono delle piccole luci d'aria proprio sui bordi estremi dello spoiler, ma niente di preoccupante perché appunto provandolo con cura ho visto che effettivamente continua come esattamente il primo giorno a rimanere ben aderente alla macchina. Quindi assolutamente promosso anche da questo punto e soprattutto dal punto di vista del design, proprio perché ora guardandolo anche approfonditamente in questo mese mi sono reso conto che questo effettivamente è anche più bello rispetto a quello che avevo in precedenza. Ringrazio Yeslak per avermelo fornito. Come sempre sapete che sul loro sito tramite il codice Giulio Autopilot otterrete un notevole sconto, quindi effettivamente da questo punto di vista abbiamo un prodotto di qualità e anche a un prezzo tutto sommato conveniente. Bene, per oggi con questo è tutto. Io vi aspetto nei commenti, se il video vi è piaciuto chiaramente un like è sempre ben accetto e noi ci vediamo alla prossima puntata. Ciao a tutti!
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about adding a rear bumper diffuser to the back end of my Tesla Model Y. I think this is going to complete the look I'm going for with my front lip kit I installed a few weeks ago. So I'm really excited to get into this today with you guys. Let's get into it. So before we get into the product and taking a look at everything that comes in the package, I want to talk about what a rear bumper diffuser is and what's its purpose. So a rear diffuser is a popular upgrade for sports cars and race cars, and it plays a key role in improving both the look and performance of your vehicle. It's located at the back of the car, usually underneath the bumper, and works by managing the airflow as it exits from under the car. By speeding up the air and reducing pressure underneath, the rear diffuser helps increase downforce, improving stability and grip, especially at higher speeds. While performance cars use diffusers for better aerodynamics on the track, they also give the car a sleek, aggressive look that stands out on the road. All right, so I went ahead and unboxed everything. The box wouldn't fit on my workbench and it would have been very cumbersome to try to film an unboxing of this. So I just went ahead and got it all unboxed here for you guys. And I want to give you an overview of everything that the product comes with. So you can kind of see here, here's the actual diffuser itself. I went with a nice matte black finish, and I'm really happy with how it looks. Yeslac offers this in a gloss black, as well as a carbon fiber matte and a carbon fiber gloss. So if you really want to kind of accentuate your Tesla to your desires and the look you're going for, definitely go ahead and check that out. I went with a matte, just matte finish, because that's kind of what I got going on the rest of the car, and I just love the way it looks. So it's a really nice matte finish ABS plastic diffuser all the way across. Jumping over here, you get the tail light, which you can actually install this here and then connect this wire up to your brake line. So that's an option that you guys have here. So that actually will like function as a light here. Give you some mounting screws to attach the light, as well as to attach the diffuser to the car itself. Some adhesion promoter, a nice big roll of some sticky, probably off-brand 3M tape, and then your actual bumper cover here, which will fit over there. So lots of goodies. Let's go ahead and start talking about how to install this on the car. So the first thing I'm going to be working on here is installing the actual tail light. And I just want to preface this by saying I'm not going to hook this tail light up. I saw some other videos of this, and it just kind of makes this blink at random intervals and doesn't really like sync up with your brake lights. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave this unplugged and leave just the wires back here, but that's going to be my plan. If you want to install this, I'll include some clips and some links down in the description that show you how to actually install this brake light. But I'm just going to be leaving it as just kind of a reflector light that's going to mount down here. So first things first is take your wires and pull them all the way through up at the top here and mount your tail light. And the kit's going to come with two small screws, the little ones. And these are actually going to attach to the back here through the diffuser and into the tail light. That's what we're going to do next. All right, once your tail light's installed and you got your screws nice and tight, we're going to be taking our 3M tape, and I'm going to be putting this, essentially using the whole roll as much as I can, all along the different various edges, all along the bottom, all along the flat surfaces, so when I mount it up to my bumper, it sticks really well. That's the plan. So let's get into that. So I just want to quickly show you guys, after a few minutes, I got all of the adhesive stuck down to the bumper. I ended up using that entire roll and then a little bit extra of a wider 3M tape that I had just kind of laying around, just because I wanted to make sure I had a really good amount of adhesion to the actual bumper when we go ahead and stick this on there. The next step is going to be starting to peel all of these off to get them ready to stick on there, and also use several of these adhesion promoters, these alcohol pads, to make sure my bumper is spotless, dust-free, all that good stuff. So when I attach this, it's not going anywhere. Let's go ahead and work on that next. All right, so I got all the tape pulled off of the actual bumper. I got all the sticky adhesive exposed. The bumper's wiped down with the adhesion promoter. I think we're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and start lining it up. And you get one shot to attach it nice and centered. So that's what we're going to work on. One tip you can try to get really good adhesion is using a heat gun. So I'm going to be heating up just some of the outside of the plastic here, just to make sure that the adhesive is sticky enough to adhere to all the parts that I put it on here, especially because it's getting colder here now. So I'm going to start heating up some of the plastic, really kind of giving it lots of pressure and ensuring that it gets a really good seal. So I've spent a little while heating up the bumper and really trying to promote really good adhesion between everywhere I installed the sticky tape, the 3M tape, and the actual bumper itself. The last step is really for some safety to make sure this thing is attached and not going anywhere. A little bit of a mechanical connection with some screws. I'm going to go through the actual bumper. There's little holes where it's designed to put the screws through and really attach the diffuser to the underside of the Tesla. There's little tiny kind of hole marks that you can see where you go through, and I think it's just an extra insurance feature. You want to make sure this thing doesn't come off, especially when you're cruising down the road. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that next. So we just finished up installing the rear diffuser, attaching it with screws, making sure it's adhered really well to the bumper. Let's see how it turned out. Well, that about wraps up this video. I really like this diffuser from Yeslac. I think it really kind of sets off the rear end of the car and really kind of makes it stand out from the millions of other Teslas that are out there on the road. If you don't like it, that's totally fine. Opinions are for everybody. They might not be your preference. For me, I really like it. I think it goes really well with the front bumper kit I added. The whole picture of the car together just kind of adds that little bit more aggressive look. Does this add anything as far as performance? Almost 100% no. If someone wants to go to a wind tunnel with their Tesla and test it out, go for it. But for me, it's just about the looks. It's just a fun cosmetic upgrade that I really think makes the rear end stand out on my Tesla, which I love. I thought it was kind of plain to start out with, but I really, really like it, especially how it goes with that front bumper kit I installed too. If you're interested in this product will be available down in the description, and I got it from Yeslac. They make a lot of really cool Tesla accessories. Make sure to check them out. If you buy through them, use my discount code. It saves you like 95 bucks on the price of this diffuser. So bringing it down from like 300 down to like 200 bucks. So it'd be a no-brainer to not use my code. So make sure you use it whenever you're buying anything from Yeslac, including this diffuser. A link to all the other products that I reviewed are down in the description as well in my link tree. Lots of them from Yeslac, lots of them from Basenor on Amazon, lots of other really cool products too. So make sure you check them all out. I'm really happy that Yeslac sent this over to me, so thank you to them. And thank you guys for coming back and watching another video. Like and subscribe for more Tesla content. I got a lot more videos coming down the line, so hope to see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.
All right, I have just received an OEM style carbon fiber spoiler. If you saw my other videos, you know that my brother just got this Model 3. He got it tinted, it's all blacked out, and so we have to differentiate the cars, and I've been thinking about this spoiler for a while. I was able to get the acceleration boost, and I think the spoiler is going to make the car look great and stand out, and we just got it in the mail. So this is from Yeslac. It's the same place we got my other accessories from, and they finally have the OEM style. So this is going to come heavily bubble wrap, save time on the video. I didn't want you to have to see that, but I actually haven't seen it yet. And the goal is we're going to install it and then see how it looks, but you're just going to need a clean microfiber towel, diluted rubbing alcohol. Some rubbing alcohol is like 70% or 50%. You'll probably want to dilute that down to about 20%. And so just add some distilled water and a clean microfiber towel, and that's all you need. This is real carbon fiber that's been cut and comes with 3M double-sided tape to attach it to the rear, and should look just like stock for about 1/4 the price as buying from Tesla. And so this is the way it looks. It's starting to look really, really nice. It's the same one that comes on the Performance Model 3 and Y. And we'll get started. The other spoiler that I've seen on the market has like ridges at the bottom. I just really didn't like that style. I wanted something a lot more subtle. We can do a pre-install just to see the way it looks. This is very clean cut. Like some of the spoilers I've seen have like ridges on the spoiler themselves. Oh, dropped that microfiber towel, so I'll probably grab a new one. But that's kind of the look that we're going for. And we'll definitely want to make sure that it's centered. So we want to make sure that the install is centered. I have this position exactly where I want it. And the distance you want is, I would take a measuring tape. If you have a flexible one, it's a little bit better. Is you want this to be sitting about 4.5 inches exactly from where the panel gap is on that side. When I thought it was centered, just for an example, it was only 4 inches and then 5 on the other side. And this as well is exactly 4.5 inches. And so that way we know it's centered. Of course, you have to pull this off. And so I would take some masking tape. And this is how some have installed like the black emblems, is you'll have the installer mark basically where the center is or where the emblem was. So when they take it off and reinstall a black version, whether they paint it or not, you have an idea of exactly where that's going to go. So I'm just take some masking tape and basically just have it aligned right in the center, just to make sure that this tape to me is exactly where I want it. And so I know that this tape from the center needs to be in line with the Tesla logo. So I'm going to remove this, set this down. I got a new microfiber cloth. So I'm going to take one side of that, just mix it in the diluted alcohol solution so that any wax, grime, debris that may be on the back of the vehicle, especially even if it is clean and you may have waxed it, it won't adhere properly. And I'm going to wipe that along this whole surface. Doesn't take much. And then you can take as you can see, actually, that is exactly why we're doing this. We want this to stick really well. Then I'm going to take the dry side and wipe that down. All right, so that's complete. We can remove the adhesive. And then after removing the adhesive, we are going to just install this right on the vehicle. Just be super careful. I'm going to line this up. What I think is the center. You'll have slight adjustments as you go on, and then when it feels good, you can just double check the measurements. Get my measuring tape, even though I have it masked, and we'll see that it is 4.5, which should mean it's 4.5. All right, let's see how it looks. And we'll remove this. And now we've got a clean install of an OEM carbon fiber spoiler. Yeah, really happy about this, and looks just like the OEM style. Real subtle look. All right, hope this helps. If you want to buy one, you get a discount if you use my promo code in the link below. I'll link some items on where to buy it. Thanks.